Hey everybody, this is Steve here, and today I'm going to show you the behind the scenes of the movie Mow It. In this video I'm going to show you all the technique we used to create this video and all the hardware stuff. And yeah, first I'm going to talk about our main actor, the robot. So basically in the video we actually used two lawn mowing robots. One of these is a real one, like it's sold in store, and it's able to mow, and the other one is the body of one, which is basically has completely been rebuilt by Buzz Booty and myself to create this robot. Basically, the reason why we did this is because this one drives really poorly. It comes with a very small remote, and basically, if you press a button, it basically has about like 1 second of delay until it reacts. And it also, you can't really tell how much it's going to turn. Sometimes it just turns like 1 degree and continues driving, and sometimes it makes a huge turn, and it's pretty much uncontrollable. And for the movie we needed a design which you can handle really good. So we basically built these two robots, and basically they're really similar. The casings aren't completely the same, but it doesn't really matter because this case you can also screw onto this robot, so we also always use this case right here. And basically the only differences are this is the body of the self-constructed one, and this is the real one. Well, this one was a real one about 10 years ago, and this one is about 5 years old. So as you see, the control panel isn't completely the same, but you won't notice that in the video. If you look closely at the scene where it starts mowing, you will see that it looks like this instead of this. And the other difference is this one has this little metal piece right here, and this one doesn't. And of course, underneath the robot, this one has this fancy lighting, and this one has a knife which can spin, of course. Yeah, and now I'm going to screw these two apart and show you everything in a little bit more detail. Okay, then we can remove the housings. So as you now probably can already tell, this one has got a GoPro mount on front of here, and this one has a lot more grass stuff on it because it's basically because this one is, well, a real one, and this one is like a self-constructed version. Yeah. And so now I'm going to open up both of these so you can have a closer look to the inside of the electronics, and yeah. Okay, so now as you can see, this one's got not as much inside as this one, but that's mainly because this one is stocked up with batteries, and this one doesn't have any batteries in at the moment. I'll put these in later. Then there's a lot less wiring because this one actually includes a main board in here, and this one has to have all electronics in here, and it has a light controller in here, but this electronic we included in this part to make it a little bit more accessible because it takes quite a while to screw this part off. So this is an older picture of the light controller which is in there. So this basically is the controller, and down here we have the infrared sensor for the remote control. And yeah, as you see, this one has got a mowing motor inside here. This one had a mowing motor inside, and we removed it because it's not necessary, and it would cut the LED strip which is mounted underneath the machine, as you can see right here. I will show that a little bit later. And yeah, I'm now going to show this thing in a little bit more detail. Okay, so in here we basically got these two brushed speed controls, one right here and one right here, and these are hooked up to these motors down there. These are the original drive motors like this. This is the original motor used in this lawn mowing robot, and we thought we're going to use the same one because it has has the mounts and the gears, gearing, and all the stuff all inside. And yeah, so we thought we're going to use these ones. And then the problem was these run at 24 volts, and we couldn't find any 24 volt speed controllers because we only had 2 days to build this. We made this robot as a school project, and we had to find the speed controls, and we just used 12 volts instead. And as you might have noticed in the shots, where the robot starts mowing, it gets a little bit faster than the scenes where it drives to the client, and that's basically because the powering. But it isn't too big issue because it just looks like if he has fun mowing. Yeah, so we use these two 6 volt batteries right here, and we basically hook them up in series so they give 12 volts. And then we basically just hooked up everything to these batteries, these speed controllers, and the receiver. So I'm now going to bind this thing up so I can show you. And there's also the controller for the LED strip is inside here. I can show this now. I'll put in a picture of it. And underneath this machine there is the LED strip. I can't lift it up now, but I'm going to show you later. And right here is the start of the LED strip where it goes down into the bottom part of the robot. And we basically just solder up the wires of the LED strip to the wires on the battery plugs. But that was only possible because these LED strips run at 12 volts, but it was pretty cool for this project. Made it really easy. Okay, so now I'm going to plug this thing. And got to set up the transmitter first. And there we go. Okay, should work now. There we go. So now this thing is bound to the transmitter, and now I can control these wheels by moving the sticks, and I use the sideways motion of the stick because the forward and reverse on this stick right here isn't hooked up to spring, so it doesn't spring back to the middle. That's because this is a airplane remote, but it works pretty good like this. So I can control the robot like this, and with this system you can really precisely control the robot as you want to have it in the movie. Also, I have this little light remote control. Unfortunately, this thing is infrared, but that's because this is a pre-built unit, the LED strip, and we bought this with the receiver and everything for the LEDs. So it doesn't run off the same remote, but you can turn this thing on. We use this original infrared receiver on the robot to put the new receiver behind it. And then we basically have a controllable floor lighting LED strip, which you can also dim and run some programs on it and stuff like this. Pretty cool. I'm now going to take the thing apart again and then show you the LED strip from the underside of the robot. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the thing around so you can see the LED strip. Unfortunately, the LEDs start falling off a little bit, and that's because the tape we used doesn't really stick to the robot too well. But it actually works quite good. We did a second attempt where we cleaned everything up and then stick them again, and most of them stick now. But as you maybe see in the video, this part of the strip hangs down lower and lower in the video, and that's basically because tape going off. But I'm actually pretty happy with it now because it sticks pretty good now. And yeah, this is basically floor lighting, and we couldn't put the mowing motor back in because it would just kill the LED strip. But yeah, that's pretty much everything in this robot. Yeah, I'm now going to show you a couple clips of the construction of this machine. So here we're disassembling the old lamb mowing robot we bought, And basically everything which was working on this one were the motors. This is the main board of it. We removed it. And then we tested all the motors and bought some electronic components. We soldered everything together, as you see right here, and assembled basically the complete power plant. And then we installed it into the robot, right here. And yeah, the time lapses you've seen have been worth of about 20 hours of footage. So now let's take a look at the finished robot. Land mowing robot. It's pretty epic. We have a working floor light. And we can even put some color changing stuff on there. Smooth. Let's use this mode for now. Or the fade, it's pretty cool. Okay, and yeah, of course it drives. Boom! Epic! Let's switch this thing off again. There we go. So this is how we took the on-ride shots of the mower. We basically just connected a GoPro at the front. The main theme song in the movie Mow It is my newest song called Workday, and I will probably release it on YouTube soon. But that's pretty much all there is to it for this video. So thank you for watching, everybody. This has been Steve, and I'm going to see you in my next video.